Hey, it's your friend SJ and welcome to the Wellness and Wellies podcast. Hey friend, how are you? I hope you have had a great few weeks. Today's episode, we are talking about coping strategies for the winter blues. Last episode, I was talking about what the winter blues is, why it can impact us. And today I want to leave you with some really helpful strategies. And you might want to try one of them, you might want to try a couple of them, or you might want to try all of them and see what works for you. I'd love to know which one you choose and how you get on. And I just thought I'd kind of give you a bit of a life update as we're friends having a bit of a chat. As I am talking to you, I'm currently squashed in the corner of my spare bedroom with my laptop and my microphone. And that is because we are moving house in 3 weeks' time. And I am really freaking out quietly in the corner because we've spent a lot of time going through things, unpacking, bits and pieces that we've had in storage, in the loft, in the roof of our house. And just one of the things I really noticed is just how much stuff we have and how much stuff we don't use. And so it has been a really great experience, throwing things out and, getting rid of things and thinking about the next steps, what we want our new home to look like, what the things that we want to take with us that are important to us, and also letting go of some things as well. But oh my goodness, it has been hard, doing all of that whilst also doing work, looking after my daughter, feeding everybody, all of the stuff that you do on the day-to-day basis, and then adding that extra pressure onto it all. And this is why, I said in the previous episode, it's so important to kind of really ground yourself in those key things of making sure that I am getting enough sleep, making sure that I am eating good food, and making sure that I am moving my body every single day. And that's why I created the Rest, Fuel, Move fitness planner, which you can grab. There is a link in the show notes. It's a digital 90-day PDF that you can print out yourself at home. You can use one of those online printers to actually bind it and turn it into a nice planner for you. And it's a really, really great resource because it helps you to focus on those key things, whether you're going through a stressful time like I am right now, or you've set yourself a challenge to move more, to eat better, whatever it is that you're looking at. It just really helps you just to kind of focus on those things without making life too complicated. Because let's be honest, I know that you've probably done this too, so many diets where you're having to count calories or points or macros or, sins and all of the things. But actually, really, living a healthy life isn't that complicated. And that's what I'm trying to do with the work that we do here together, is just to focus on the real basics of getting rest, getting the sleep that we need, fueling our body with really good, nutritious food. And next episode, I want to talk to you in a bit more depth about that. And then also talking about movement. And this isn't about making a complicated exercise plan and forcing yourself to go to the gym all the time. It's about what can you do? Have you got 10 minutes? Have you got 15 minutes? What can you do in those short pockets of time? And the planner gives you those tools so that you can kind of record those things. You can record the water that you're drinking. You can plan your meals in there. There's space for you to plan your week ahead, so you can do time blocking if that's what you like to do. And there's also space for you to keep track of your sleep and the exercise that you're doing. So the download, the link is in the show notes. Grab it, print it off at home, print it off as many times as you like. I hope you find it helpful. I know right now, with the challenges that we're going through, we have really dug into some of those things. We've been feeling quite stressful, and having that resource just to keep my mind focused on what is important has been so helpful. So I hope you find it helpful. Get the link's in the show notes, and let me know how you get on. Okay, so today's episode, we're talking all about the winter blues, and I don't know about you, but if you live like in the Northern Hemisphere, particularly in the UK, like this time of year is super challenging. Like 1 minute it's like -6 and we think we're going to get snow. And the next minute it's about 5-6 degrees and we've got like gale force winds and rain. And it's just like a bit of a roller coaster. We hardly get any sunlight and it can be a really challenging time. And there's a lot of reasons why we can feel a bit down in the dumps at this time of year. Last episode, we were talking about SADs and how like this time of year can make you feel like more like lower, a bit depressed, and we dug into kind of like the science behind that. But today's episode really is about me sharing some strategies with you that I hope are going to help. And as I said earlier, it might be you want to try one, you might want to try a couple of them, or you might want to go like the whole shebang and try all 11 of these ideas that I have for you. But I hope you find them helpful. So grab a pen and paper if you have one, or jot this down on your phone. Number one I want to talk about is showers. I want to talk about showers. Now, when we were looking at our new house, one of the things that both Tim and I did was we went into the bathroom and we looked at the shower. We tested the water pressure in the shower because a shower is so important to us. Like, I very rarely take a bath. But oh my goodness, like a good, powerful shower is life in this house. And we had a really nice shower installed in this house with like a proper powerful pump. And those of you in the UK, I think this is maybe like more common here. Like sometimes you go into a home and you get this like dribbly sort of shower, and we were just like, we cannot have that in our new house. So as we're speaking, the bathroom is actually being like redone, and we are having like a proper powerful shower put in. And this is one of the things, this is why it's like number one on my list anyway, is having a shower, not a bath. And having the water like as hot as you like. I mean, Tim like always takes the mickey out of me, like that I have my shower at like lava temperature. I just love a really, really hot shower. And you can have it as hot or as cold as you like. I mean, there's a lot of work and research out there about the benefits of using cold water therapy to like improve your mental health. I did a whole episode around like ice baths and that sort of thing. I do actually have like one of those cold pods in my garden, but I will say right now, like I'm being a bit of a wimp, and that for me in -6 temperatures is a little bit too far. So what I'm doing at the moment is having like a really nice hot shower, and I tend to shower in the morning and then also in the evening before I go to bed. It's just kind of habit. And then I end the shower by turning it right down to the cold and having a couple of minutes just stood under the cold water. So I'm still getting like the benefits of the cold water therapy, but I'm not sat in my garden like breaking the ice on the cold pod at the moment. It's just a little bit too far, and hopefully as the weather gets a bit warmer, then I'm going to go back to doing that in the garden. But we're actually moving north in the UK, so it's probably going to be a bit colder up there than it is down here. So when it comes to your shower, have the water as hot or as cold as you like. You don't even need to wash if you don't want to. Just get under the water, let it run over you for a while. You know, even sit on the floor if you need to. But I just think there's something about having a shower that can really improve your mind. Right, number 2 is about moisturiser. So you've had your shower, hot, cold, whatever. I think a really good thing to do is to actually moisturize like everything. And this time of year, like our skin gets dry and cold and chapped and sore, and it can just sort of feel really quite miserable. So moisturize everything. Use whatever lotion you like. I also highly recommend, you've heard me talk about this company before. So I am affiliated with a company based in the UK called Neal's Yard, and all of our like moisturizers and everything are made in the UK with organic ingredients. And if you want to take a look at some of those, I've linked some of the like body moisturizers in there. My favorite is anything rose scented. Like, oh my gosh, like rose scented, love the smell. And this time of year, like frankincense is quite a nice kind of sort of wintry smell, quite Christmassy as well, isn't it? But anything you want, you know, whether it's cheap, whether it's fancy, just anything, and put it all over yourself, like your entire body. Just moisturize everything. Your skin will feel amazing and you will feel good from doing that too. It's like a little bit of pampering and self-care. Okay, number 3 is about comfortable clothes. And, you know, this time of year, we might be like carrying a little bit of extra weight from Christmas. So don't torture yourself by trying to fit into like your skinny jeans, or, you know, if you want to wear, and this is kind of what I'm doing at the moment, like I'm living in my stretchy yoga leggings and my hoodies because I feel warm, I feel comfortable, I feel cozy. Like now is not the time, if you don't want to be worrying about making sure that you're keeping up with all the fashions. If you're feeling like a little bit meh, then just wear the clothes that you feel comfortable in, and just maybe like buy some nice pants and wear some comfy pants and some good fitting bras. I always think that actually on days where, you know, you're not sort of maybe feeling on top form, or maybe your hormones are all over the place, actually having some good comfy sports bras if you've got like sore boobs can be a really, really good idea. Wear them. Like nobody's going to judge you, you know, just do what you need to do to make yourself feel happy and comfortable. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to cost a whole load of money. And one of the things I'm doing right now is where we are clearing out like our wardrobe and getting rid of all the clothes and things like that. So some of them I've donated to charity, and there's some of them, I'm not sure if you guys in the US have this app, but we have this app in the UK called Vinted, spelled Vinted. And I've been selling like all my clothes that I don't want anymore on that app. And then what I do is I keep the money on the app, and then I use that money to buy and replace other things. So I've kind of like been overhauling my wardrobe, but without spending a whole load of money. And it's quite fun. I'm kind of turning it into a bit of a like competition with myself, you know, like what can I sell and what can I find that is like nice and that's going to make me feel good. And it's not costing me loads of money at the same time. Okay, number 4 is to drink lots of water, and to drink cold water. Like use ice, you could add some mint, you could add some lemon, just something like that that's going to kind of like perk you up in the morning, get an extra boost. I've got one of those fake Stanley cups. We're kind of like use a few other companies. I know you guys in the US like love your Stanley cups, but I think in the UK we're kind of a bit like, yeah, they're great, but they're really expensive here. So I've got like a fake looking Stanley cup from like a website I got off Amazon or something. At night time I put some cold water in that cup with a bit of ice, and then by the time I wake up in the morning, it's actually still really, really cold. And I drink that like literally as soon as I stand up and get out of bed. And it just really helps me to like wake up. Okay, tip number 5 that I've got for you is to clean something. And I am definitely like in full on cleaning mode. Although I have to say I'm really struggling with the amount of boxes I have around my house right now. But it doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be like a drawer, like a drawer of your desk. Maybe you have like an untidy like dressing table, or for those of you, and I've seen them on like social media, that have like beautifully big bathrooms with like a double sink, like his and her sink. Maybe your bathroom needs some attention or something like that. Just clean an area. You'll feel so much better for doing that. And or it could be like, you know, do a load of washing or scrub the sink in the bathroom, just something, and you will absolutely feel a sense of achievement. Now, as we move into our new home, I'm going to be sort of like wrapping my head around like a new routine for cleaning that house, because the house is going to be different. Things are in different places, and I thought as I go through that, I'd share some of that process with you, like how I'm going to build like a cleaning routine, a laundry routine, how I'm going to set up that system that I have currently. How am I going to use that in our new home, and sort of, working around like the demands of like a different routine and a different sort of lifestyle that we're going to have on the new farm. Okay, number 6 is blast some music. Oh my gosh, like music really is like the most joyful thing, isn't it? In terms of, what you want to listen to, we've got all these apps, we've got all these like in-home speakers. Like, I think, you can use them more. You could create your own like morning playlist, those songs that are gonna like wake you up, make you feel good, make you feel full of joy, and just like get the music pumping, and that's gonna really help to improve your mood. If you've got kids, maybe get some like Disney songs on. My daughter Chloe loves to listen to like the theme tune from the Disney films. Like Encanto is a huge favorite in this house. I love that soundtrack. It's just like so much fun, and we all know all the words and we sing it, and yeah, it's just I'm very, very grateful that we don't have neighbours and they don't have to listen to our singing at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, number 7, and this is one of those things that underpins everything, is make some food. And yesterday, it was a Saturday, and we were packing and sorting through stuff all day, and I felt tired, Tim felt tired, and we kind of looked at each other and we were like, oh, okay, right, let's go and get some food. And we chose to order something from like a local fish and chip shop. Now, where we live, you can't get stuff delivered to your door, so you have to go out and go and pick it up, which is one of the reasons we don't order food very often. And we have kind of like a lot of hard and fast rules around like food and ingredients, and so for us to have like a takeaway is really, really rare. So we ordered some food from a place that we thought was pretty good, and Tim went to get it. He brought it home, and oh my gosh, it was one of those things where I was like, what a waste of time, what a waste of money. I should have just cooked something, because we both, like, none of us actually really wanted to eat it, and we didn't eat it, and we ended up eating some of the leftovers that we had from some of the other meals from earlier in the week. So yeah, definitely make some food. I know when you're feeling sad and a bit low that can be hard. Like finding the motivation to like self-care for yourself in that way can be really challenging. And over the coming weeks, I'm really going to dig into the food idea, the resources that have changed for me and for us in this household, the way that we look at food. I'm going to share with you like the routines that I have around cooking, home baking, like all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to share that with you, and I'm also going to start sharing more of it over on Instagram. So I will put the link to my Instagram account in the show notes, because I know that it's not always possible to share it all over the podcast, but that is definitely coming your way. So if fuel and nutrition is something that you want to dig into, grab the 90-day resource that I was mentioning earlier, and keep your eyes and ears peeled to this podcast and over on my Instagram, because I'm going to start sharing some more of those resources with you, and hopefully help you to get more motivated and more sort of like to prioritize, I guess is what I'm saying, to prioritize like good, healthy food without making it super complicated, because that is the journey that we have been on. And I do feel as a family now, we've kind of pretty much got that nailed. And yeah, okay, yesterday we did consider having a takeaway, and we bought one and we didn't eat it. It was a total waste of time. But I think on the whole, you know, if we weren't moving, we wouldn't have even done that. So yeah, that is coming your way. Number 8, make something. Like, get crafty. my daughter is the most creative, like ingenious, like some of the stuff she comes up with just absolutely blows my mind. So she'll go into our like recycling bin, so where we put like all the paper and the cardboard and all the plastics and things like that ready to go for recycling. She will go into that bin, and I'm sure if you've got young children, they do this too. It's just so amazing. And yesterday she dug out like a milk carton and like this paper cardboardy box thing that I'd had for some fruit, and she turned it into like a rocket backpack with a bit of string. And I just love their imagination. So, see if you can sit down with your kids and, be creative with them. Go and, maybe you are somebody who can write stories or poems. Maybe you can draw. Maybe you can make things. Maybe you could go out and collect things from nature and create like a collage or something with them. If you haven't done a vision board, then maybe look into doing something like that, because that can be quite creative and fun, and, getting pictures, printing pictures off the internet and sticking it on a vision board, like that kind of thing. Absolutely give that a go maybe. Or write a letter to somebody. Maybe you've got a friend that you haven't spoken to for ages, but you've got their address, and maybe you could like send them a card or something. Just, maybe get a little bit creative. Number 9, and this probably shouldn't have been number 9. I think I should have actually put this probably more towards the top, but definitely get outside. Now, I'm hearing all these people on podcasts where they're like, yeah, you should get outside as the sun's coming up. Well, the sun doesn't really come up here until about 8 o'clock in the morning. And by then, I've, got to get my daughter to school. I've been up for like the best part of 2.5 hours. And yeah, getting sun and daylight first thing in the morning doesn't really work. But if you can, go outside and take a walk in some form or another. Put all the layers on if you have to. Get the welly boots on, get the coats on. And I would really suggest that you do it like in the morning if you can, because by the time you finish the end of the day, you're not going to do it. If you are somebody who works, and we were talking about this at my organisation too, if you work and you have a lunch break, oh my gosh, go and do it. Go and do it. Go and put your shoes on and go outside just for 10-15 minutes and just walk around and breathe some fresh air. Those of you that might work in an office, like put some trainers on. I've seen, because I'm obviously in the field of education and like working with teachers quite a lot, I've seen a lot of teachers taking like a walk at lunchtime. I think that is amazing. I think that is one of the best things that you can do for your mental health. But again, it doesn't have to be complicated. It isn't about, like, you don't have to join a gym in January. You don't have to spend hours and hours in the gym. This is what that planner is about. It's about making it simple, doing something simple that you can maintain and that you can sustain over 90 days. And it could be going for a walk for 10 minutes at lunchtime. And after 90 days, that is definitely going to be a habit. And it's going to be something that you do without thinking. But yeah, get outside, my friend. Watch the sun come up. Watch the sun set. It's so joyful. Just so joyful. And I know some of you live in some really cold areas where you've got this beautiful snow and it's not raining as much as it is here. Just get that light where you possibly can. Okay, number 10 is call someone. Like, I think in this day and age, we are like so reliant on text messages. Like, we send each other text messages, we comment on people's like statuses on Facebook, but it loses that like personal touch. I'm on a podcast, like I love to talk. That's kind of goes without saying. And it's one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of podcasts, is because you can get so much from the tone of people's voices. You can pick up so much from that tone. And if you maybe don't want to like actually pick up the phone, or you try and phone someone, they're busy, I think one of the greatest inventions that we've got at the moment is the voice note. Like, I love voice noting my friends. we will voice note each other backwards and forwards. And for those of you that are sort of like, you know, someone who I communicate with on a regular basis, like I'm not here for sitting down and typing out long text messages. You're going to get a voice note from me. If you want to voice note me, come and voice note me over on Instagram. I'd love to hear your voice. I think you can get so much more. So definitely like call someone, call a loved one, friend, family, talk to a stranger on the street. Oh my gosh, like I do this all the time. I don't know about you, but I always find that I will like make eye contact with people, smile at them, and I always try to talk to people. Like if I'm in a shop, I'll ask the person, like, how's your day? You know, I think in England we can be a little bit like standoffish, and I think certainly for you guys in the US, you are a bit better at doing this kind of thing than we are here. But just like, you know, talking to somebody, it can really make their day, and it can really make your day feel a lot better as well. And you don't have to have like this huge like social interaction with somebody, and it doesn't have to be a great big deep and meaningful conversation, but the amount of times and the amount of friends that I've made just by like stepping out of my comfort zone and saying hello to somebody it's just been so beneficial. And I know that it's not an easy thing to do. And I also know that I am going to have to do this a lot over the coming weeks, because we are going to be going to a new area where we don't really know anybody. And I'm going to have to put myself out there and, you know, make some new friends and show my daughter that she can do that as well. And that's going to be hard. There's going to feel like days where I don't want to do it, but it is definitely worth doing it. I remember listening to an episode on the Mel Robbins podcast where she was talking about like how to make friends using coffee shops. And she was talking about like the different style of coffee shops and how some coffee shops are better for making friends than others. And she kind of detailed like 5 different types, but I think you could kind of like break it down into 2 really. So if you think about like your Starbucks, your Costa coffee like we have here, like people don't kind of sit there and, you know, it's not really like such a social kind of place. But if you were to go to like an independently owned coffee shop that's owned by a local small business owner that has, you know, like some funky teas and funky coffees and the cakes are homemade and that sort of thing. And if you were to go there like once a week at the same time, you'd start to see the same people. And this was what she was saying in her podcast, that would then give you the opportunity to like engage with people and sort of say, hey, you know, how are you? I saw you last week, or, you know, I'm new here. You know, what's the best cake to try? You know, talk to the staff and that kind of thing. And certainly if you're a dog owner, this is definitely like one of those things that is really helpful about having a dog as well, for example. Because if you're going out every single day and you're walking your dog to the same place, maybe you're going to the same park or the beach or something like that, and you're seeing the same people, like you say hi to each other and then you start to talk and you can build friends and relationships and that social human connection with other people, which is so important. And it's so important for our mental health. And, you know, if you could start up a few new friendships by going to that coffee shop, or, you know, going to that gym class every week where you're going to see people who are there every time, you're going to start to say hello to people and make some new friends, and that will definitely help kick those like sad feelings. Okay, number 11. I think this is like definitely probably my favorite, because I am such an advocate for animals and like the benefit that they have in our lives as humans. So I have put on here that number 11 is to cuddle your pets if you have them. Take pictures of them, talk to them, tell them how you feel. I do this like all day because I am working from home on my own. We have 4 dogs in our house, and we have a golden retriever who is called Comet. We have a Cocker Spaniel, who is a brown colour called Aero, like after the chocolate. We have a rescue dog, Rosie, who is a Springer crossed with a collie and absolutely bonkers. And the last one that we have, who is our newest addition, is Sky, and she is a yellow Labrador, and she is 10 months old. And animals just are so amazing. Those guys, like, they get me up in the morning. Like, they're the reason that I go out in the rain to walk them. They are there all day while I'm working and I'm on my own. They are the reason I get up and go for a walk at lunchtime. They just bob around with me all the time. And I know that not everybody has the time, the energy to have a dog, because, dogs are definitely a big commitment. You might have a cat, I don't know, a gerbil, a guinea pig, a rabbit, or something like that. But pets can just bring so much joy to our life. And this is one of the reasons why we see all these therapy dogs in hospitals. If you've been listening for a while, one of my really close friends has been struggling with cancer. And when I have been to visit her in hospital, I've seen all of these therapy dogs around the hospital, and just seeing the way that people smile at these animals, it just brings so much joy. So I don't know, if your friend has a dog, maybe offer to walk their dog. And, I'm sure they'd be grateful for that. And, most dogs aren't going to say no to more love, more affection, more walks. Offer to take your friend's dog for a walk if they're busy and they're, and there's also, we've certainly got an app here called Borrow My Doggy. And it's, like an app where people can, people who own dogs can offer their dog to, if they need help with dog walking and that kind of thing. So there's loads of different options and loads of different ways. Or you could volunteer at a rescue centre and, walk some of the dogs that are in rescue centres, or, go and spend some time with them and just pet them and love them and just, I don't know, just get yourself around animals. If you love animals, they are so good for our mental health. Okay, so there are my 11 suggestions for how you can kick those winter blues, cope better when you are feeling a bit sad or a bit glum, or when your hormones are kicking your butt big time. I would love to know which ones you do, which ones you're going to try. If you have pets, because I love dogs and animals and horses, come and share some pictures of your pets with me over on Instagram. The link to that is in the show notes, but it's wellness_wellies. I'd really love to hear from you, and I'm going to be sharing more about our moving journey, setting up new routines, setting up our new home over on there. So have an amazing day, have an amazing week, my friend, and I really look forward to speaking with you in the next episode.